Were you trying to play with some of the tropes of the genre? Were you trying to sort of look at, you know, the tropes and that, or just straight ahead horror movie, this is what it is?
No, I mean, I think, you know, in a strange way we're trying to do that, but almost kind of like challenge your prejudices of them, right? So, you know, it's called The House at the End of the Street. So, you know, you think, well, you know, it sounds like Last House on the Left, you know. So then you kind of see what it's about. New mum coming to this new town, you know, blah blah. You go, oh, I've seen it all before. You know, she's got this kind of tank top on, like Jessica Biel had in Texas and Texas Chainsaw. And you think, oh, I've seen all these sorts of things before. And that was kind of in a strange way what I wanted to do was kind of like, you know, literally kind of have you go, yeah, it kind of puts the audience, you know, not at ease, but almost in this kind of like, this kind of inflated sense of kind of contempt. Because they kind of go, well, I've seen this before. And do you know what, I know what this film's about. I know what it is. I know everything about this film, right? And then they go in there and they think they do. And then suddenly, as you know, because of what happens with the film, they don't. Suddenly they're in a different place, you know? And I think that's a really, you know, we've got ahead of their expectation. And I think that's in today's market, I think that's really difficult to do because everybody knows everything about films, you know, everybody knows all the information. And that's what I was trying to do. And I felt anything that would help me do that was really valid. So which is why I kept the name of the film and why we did all these sorts of things. Because, you know, really the way that I sell it in my head is, you know, house at the end of the street. It isn't what you think. You know, that's always how I sell it. You know, in my to myself and to everything else, because it isn't. You know, and so that's what I try to do. And you know, at the same time, it is a mainstream, you know, genre film. You know, it is a film that's opening wide. At the same time, I couldn't have it be too up its own arse. Do you know what I mean? You know, it can't be too introspective and it can't be too navel glazing. And at the same time, it can't weld its themes like a hammer and kind of hit the audience in the head with it, because that's not good either. You know, no one wants to be preached to. You know, so there's a lot of different sort of balls that I was trying to juggle. You know?
I see. Let me just, I want to come in a little bit here, get this better composition. Yeah, that's a little better. We get that. Okay. Now, all right, talk about obviously an interesting thing. You know, you cast Jennifer, who had done the movie and exploded since. You know, this is an unusual circumstance. First of all, do you talk about just casting that role? What were you looking for, and like how many people did you go through before you were like, all right, I think this is the one?
Went through a lot of people. You know, and it was, you know, for me, I didn't want to go. I've never been that kind of guy, right? I don't kind of, you know, I don't frame. You know, I don't frame centre, whatever it might be. And I always, you know, for me, I always want actors that are kind of more interesting than they are kind of, you know, beautiful or sellable. Do you know what I mean? For me, that's what I've always wanted to do. And for me, she's got an interesting face. You know, she's not particularly world-class beautiful, but she's, you know, ugly either. She's this wonderful kind of combination of features that are unique and are interesting. And for me, are stunning. And that was, for me, was what the key was. I wanted something that was slightly different, you know. Because I couldn't have cast anybody, you know, just the films that I make, I don't cast that kind of like, you know, that kind of what other people are saying is classic beauty, right? You know, or classic great acting. That's not it for me. You know, it's like, it's just not how it kind of works. And so with her, when I saw her, I was like, this is it, right? This girl is like, you know, she's everything that I'd want in my leading woman. You know, everything. You know.
So was it mainly the look? Because you know what I mean, that was always the thing. Like you go for casting, they take one look at you, you're like, you haven't even read yet, and you've decided no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, you know, the truth of the matter is, I'll be honest with you, the truth of the matter is, when you do cast, yeah, it is. The first thing you look at is someone's look, right? Because that's what they do when they walk into a room. That's all you see. So the first thing you do is you go, okay, well, they look right. That's great. Let's hope their acting is good. Do you know what I mean? But you don't ever, you know, get someone in the room and don't think what they look like, and then go, well, I'll just read, and then I'll see what they look. You know what I mean? The first thing you do, frankly, the first thing you do, and you know, and if people don't say that, then they're lying. But yeah, because you know, it's like first time I walk into a room, I'm black. You know, it's like people don't go, oh, he's just a guy, and you know, that's because it's there. It's the most obvious thing about who I am. Now, you know, so yeah. I mean, frankly, you do. The first thing you look at is when someone comes in, if they're right. If they don't look right, you immediately go, well, look, he doesn't look right. You know, and it's not. So yeah. So if they're the type that you want. And then if they've got the talent to back it up, then you're away. You know, it's a home run. You know, but with her, you know, it was. I needed her to be a great actress, and she was better than great. You know?
Now, I believe in a note you said it was hard to get her attracted to the material. I have that quote here. took it out of the notes. I'm assuming you said it. What was that? I mean, what was that negotiation like? I mean, obviously not contract negotiation, but the negotiation.
Look, she's very bright. She's very smart, and she knows material really well. She's a really good storyteller. So you can't bullshit her. You can't kind of go in there and be like, you can't be in that. You have to know your stuff. And with her, she's not going to commit to a film unless she really thinks it's more than. It's more than kind of just a slick genre film, and that's what happened. I mean, it was like it was a lot of character work we had to do, a lot of kind of. She wanted to know a lot of the kind of the skeleton of the story, a lot of the inside of the story, and I had to know it and I had to get it right, and that's what it was. It was like there was a lot of work that had to be done because and that's the point about I think when you work at this level, is at the best, right? They have questions, And the best put you through the ringer because they want to make sure that what they're doing is the best. Do you know what I mean? And they just don't want to do any anodyne rubbish. They have to believe in it themselves. And I think with Jen, I think she really got it when I said to her that, as far as I was concerned, I was making a love story, right? You know what I mean? That was the core of what the film was about, And if we got that right, then all the rest of it, all the thrillers and all the spills and all the thrills and spills. Would happen, and it would engage with the audience because we had them in a great place, and that was where they believed in this relationship,
Well, how important then is your background as an actor? It seems like you know that language, you know what they want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It sounds like there was a lot of that played into it.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the great things I think about, one of the best things I think happened to me is the fact that I was an actor, because one of the things that I always remember when I was an actor, like for example, was how I never really felt safe on set. I always felt like slightly nervous. I never felt like everybody was there to kind of to back me up, or everybody was there for me. And I think that's the most important thing now that I always work on is having a really lovely warm set. So when actors come on, it's warm. It's a warm room, and they feel like they can be who they want to be, and they feel like they can just kind of experiment. But but just little things like when you do a take, the first thing you do is when you do a take, it's a bit like a kid. You look for the director. You look for his eyes. So there's no point in being by the monitor, right? So I stand by the camera. And it's little details like that. It's like, it's like. A lot of actors don't like marks because it's like being in a straitjacket. You've got to hit certain marks. So what I like to try and do is get operators that can pull focus by eye. They don't need to come in with the measuring tape. They can just do it. And I think the little things, they're huge things. Because it's all about the performance, right? No one goes, oh, the music was shit, or the design was shit, or or the lighting was shit. It's always about the acting. So. For me, everything has to be geared to getting the best performance you can. Everything. From what car they come into the day, or what magazines are in the car, to what kind of coffee they've got. Everything is all about getting them on that set when they're nice and ready and, like a fresh scone that's come out of the oven. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny, I used to be a focus puller.
Oh, did you?
The marks are nice for us.
Yeah, no, they're great for you. They're great for you. But I honestly, I try and get guys who can do it by eye, even if it's wrong, even if they don't get it quite right, even with softs, right? Because for me, I love that. I love the fact that we can put a little bit of softness in there. I don't care, right? It's not about, for me. It's not about perfection. It's not about that. It's about just capturing the moment. And sometimes that happens, and it could be soft, but it's fine. It's fine.
Now, you have her doing a couple of things that are outside her wheelhouse here. Well, I reckon kissing Ryan is not so outside.
Yeah, that's a pretty intense kiss.
How are those scenes to direct? I mean, because the actors have to feel awkward, and
Yeah, they're always difficult because I kind of I don't like to get involved. I kind of say, look, have you guys talked about it? Because it's really not between me. I say, okay, have you kind of talked about it? And they'll go, yeah, we talked about it. And I've gone because I think when people kiss, I can always see it when people I can see people kiss on TV or films, and it's not real, right? I hate it. Right? I go, hang on, it's not real, right? Kiss. If you're gonna kiss. And so I talk to them. I go, look, you guys okay about this? And I'll say, look, here's what I want, right? Are you comfortable with that? And they'll go, yeah, okay, we're comfortable with that. And that was it. I kind of go, that's perfect, right? Let's just do it. And so we do it.
Do you get it on the first take? It seems like the kind of thing that's going to be a few takes before it starts to feel.
Quite a few. It's quite a few. A lot of takes, and you kind of just get into it, and you kind of just go, here we go, let's just go for it. I mean, I've never done a full-on sex scene, but again, I suspect that must be again pretty mechanical, you know, and like I said, I've never done it, but again, it's, you know, it's not particularly sexy, and I just, you know, you want to get through it as quickly as you can. You kind of go, yeah.
Now you have her singing. I understand. You know, again, according to the notes, she likes to sing. She wants to sing. Was that a hard thing to get? I mean, she's not a singer. You know? I mean, she doesn't have to come off like a pro here, but it's got to be presentable. Obviously.
No, yeah. I mean, I had to get guitar lessons. I had to, you know, I sorted out singing lessons with Roger Love, who does all the Glee stuff. I only got one. I only need to get one lesson out of him because he had to go away on tour. You know, again, it was, you know, the music, getting the right music. You know, it was, you know, it's funny. You know, I think about it. You know what's funny, actually, when I was driving here, I was kind of taking a moment at the taxi and just kind of soaking it up, because it's a great week for me. I've got my family here, and you know, it's an incredible feeling. It's, you know, I can't tell what it's like. You know, it feels like such a validation of kind of what you've done, and a film that's opening wide, and the support that I've had making it. But you forget all the work that comes into making a film like this, like all the wrecking you're doing to get the right house, all the different songs that you've listened, and meeting the different guys who are going to write the songs, and getting guitar lessons, and buying the guitar, all these things that you do that get you to this one moment. And it's like, and I was thinking about it, how you bank all this hard work, you bank it, and then it's suddenly released, you know? But you've banked it all, you've done all this work. And yeah, you know, and that's the same thing with the song. I mean, you know, choosing the songs, you know, is hard in itself, and getting them recorded that way, and then, you know, getting them recorded and playback and all these different sort of things that you've got to do, and you know, and getting it right, make sure it's the right song, because it has to sound believable. At the same time, it can't be too brilliant. You know, it's got to sound like it. You know, it's immense, but you know, it's great. You know?